He not party every day since his ad fight.
If the soul of a champion is made up of unequal parts of confidence, competitiveness, composure, and focus, Pretty Boy Floyd, the undefeated pound-for-pound boxing king, oozes complete confidence. But is it authentic, or part of his mind game, befuddling opponents and misleading those searching for the soul inside? We seek to discover his soul.
Once I enter the ring, there's no fighter that can match me mentally.
Great left hook by Mayweather.
My goal is to be the best ever, and I think I'm the best fighter ever.
Floyd Mayweather promised he would humiliate Arturo Gatti before his fans.
I beat everybody you put in front of me, and I'm going to continue to beat everybody you put in front of me. This sport is like no other sport. In the boxing, this is combat, this is war.
Exhibiting the fruits of supreme confidence, Mayweather has dominated his divisions since beginning his pro career in 1996. His roots pointed to little else. With a father and two uncles in the fight game, his calling seemed preordained. But Mayweather Jr. has evolved beyond family ties, sporting an unblemished 36-0 career mark.
Brilliant, clean, hard shots for Pretty Boy Floyd, and Chavez backs out.
Getting there obviously is hard, but you know, to be on top after 10 years, it's unbelievable.
He's been a world champion in 4 different weight classes. What drives him to obsession is a passion for others to acknowledge his superiority.
You gotta know your distance. You got to know your distance. You gotta know it.
He believed when his era is gone, they're gonna rate him as the greatest fighter ever.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work.
Dad was his hero. He was really his hero. Dad took him to the gym every day and had to hold him up to hit the bag.
Believe it or not, I started training my son when he was a baby, right in the crib. I take his hands and start doing that. Pretty soon, my son started doing that on his own. I couldn't believe it.
I used to just go to the gym and, stand on a chair and hit the speed bag. And, after hitting the speed bag for a few years, I got good at it. So when I was 4 years old, I know how to hit the speed bag like a professional.
When he came up here and he was 2.5, 3 years old, he already would run his mouth a little bit, and if you tell him to do something, he'd just run right back at you. And as he grew older, that trash talking got better and better and better.
When it's another athlete that can go a decade without an L, then talk to me.
One of the things that he likes to do when he's training is talk about the opponent that's coming up. How many losses does that guy have?
I ain't no shit, L.
Basically, he's psyching himself as he's training. He's thinking about this other guy and putting this other guy down in his mind.
There are some athletes that feel like their ability to think, maybe even psych out competitors, is a real advantage. I mean, you just think of Tiger Woods wearing red on Sundays.
On May 22, 2004, Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought for the first time at the 140-pound weight class. His weapons in the ring that night? Superior speed and accuracy, and a daring verbal counterattack.
He started boxing me, and he started talking to me, getting me out of my game, saying, "Come on, fight me, fight me."
Right hand by Mayweather, hardest punch of the fight. Corley, visibly stunned by that one.
Self-confidence is an athlete's belief in their ability to execute in the present moment. He has that utmost confidence and belief in his ability. Now, the general public or fans see that as cocky. He sees it as confidence.
It's not a crime to boast about your talent. All he boasts about his talent. So it's not a crime to boast about your talent, as long as you can prove him wrong.
Everything I talked about, if you call it bragging or boasting, whatever you want to call it, I lived up to it. These boys come in the gym, they work out every day. Every day.
You start trash talking to him and just trying to put them down a little bit to make himself feel up here where he thought he should be. And that would overcome maybe any fear that he had.
The fear of failure, it has to be there for any top echelon athlete. And if it is a fear, I would think it's the fear of losing the stature that he has.
Any great basketball player that's out there right now had a lot of great nights, but also had a lot of bad nights. But still, is known as a great player. In this sport, it's different. You know, you lose your #1 spot. The L stay with you the rest of your career.
Fear. All at once, it is an athlete's paradox. Either the catalyst for success or the tripwire for failure.
Boxing, if you're losing, nobody want to lose. Who want to lose? I mean, you lose, that means you like everybody else.
A lot of these kids feel that when they lose their O, they're losing so much of themselves, and that's unfortunate because then they don't take chances like Mayweather, who's, you know, ducked Antonio Margarito because Margarito's a dangerous fight and Mayweather doesn't want to lose the O.
The 0 means a lot to any person in sports, not just him. Nobody want to have a loss at nothing. So that fear thing saying to you, man, the whole world watching me. You know, I'm on a world stage.
USA Today, Soul of a Champion, every Tuesday in you. You're watching Soul of a Champion on Versus.
Well, my goal in life is, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to retire as the best fighter ever.
His sole motivation is that he wants to retire undefeated, being a multiple champion in 5, 6 different weight classes, and go down as the best ever to do it.
In the steely environment of Grand Rapids, Michigan, a father convinced his son of the riches that live beyond the city limits. Through boxing, Floyd Sr. instilled dreams of fame and wealth to young Floyd.
His father was somewhat of a hero around the general area here, so he looked up to his father. He knew his father was something, and he wanted to be like that.
Fame drive all of us, if we can get some. I don't care if you get a 2-minute shot in the paper. You'll tell your friend, oh, I'm in the paper over there. So fame drive all of us to a certain degree.
Boxing was a vehicle by which he did it. But he had a strong desire to be a success and be well known.
The son looked at Dad's career, a 30-6-1 mark as a professional, including a 1978 fight versus Sugar Ray Leonard as a benchmark. But in 1993, while Junior was in the Golden Glove circuit, his dad was convicted of cocaine trafficking and sent to prison for 4.5 years. The sudden departure detoured Dad's life and warped the focus of his prodigy.
That was a really bad moment for me. It was hurting me bad inside, man. I couldn't be there for my son.
He was kind of down because him and Daddy did everything together. They used to run about 10 miles a day. They did everything together. He wanted to be a boxer, but after his father, went to prison, he was like, I don't really know what to do.
He got sort of depressed and just didn't come around for a while. I think that he was struggling with his focus.
I talked to him frequently on the phone. I would bring some things back to him, that was written down about boxing, and I would refreshen his mind sometimes. Then he'd say, oh, Daddy, you're right. I remember that.
With his incarcerated dad unable to attend, Floyd Jr. entered the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. As a favorite in the featherweight division, he was stunned with a judge's decision in the semifinal round and settled for the bronze. The controversy offered another opportunity for fight or flight.
That was the avenue out for him. And, of course, he really would have won the Olympics, but it robbed him.
They took that fight from him, and he cried.
Not around nobody. I never want to let nobody see me cry. Because it really, really hurt me. Because I really wanted to, bring the medal back home. They're like, oh, he won a bronze medal in Olympics. Oh, he won a silver. No. You lose gold, you receive silver, and you receive bronze. I'm glad I got the bronze. Because a true champion can take a loss and bounce back. And I feel that was my loss. That was just a way God telling me I need to work harder. So when I got on that plane and left Atlanta, I left it right behind. Once I get in here, I go in the zone. And when I go in the zone, can't nobody stop me. You know, every time I used to fight, they used to always talk about, you know, what my dad been through and what I've been through. And, you know, a lot of times try to get in my head, but there's none that can get to me.
Mayweather, intent on forging his own path, has taken the direct road in both his career and training methods. But within Mayweather's focus is the inherent tendency to align himself with only those who agree with his methods. Relationships fall victim to the ultimate motives.
From 93 to 98, I'm standing on my own 2 feet. So, you know, when my dad get out, I guess he still think I'm still a young boy. But, you know, I tell him, you know, I'm my own man. I'm grown now. I've been on my own for 5 years. You know, as a man, we just see things eye to eye. So he went his way and I went my way.
I'm the one that got him everything he got. Everything he got, I got it. Everything he giving people, I did it for him. His daddy did it for him.
My dad had me running them boots. He had me chopping wood. But, you know, you get grown, you want to do things your way. I want to run in tennis shoes.
If a dad is just, you know, screaming at you, you know, you start not to hear it. And I think as Floyd became older and became a man himself, I think he came to resent that and resist that a little bit. Pretty much that's the genesis of their split.
He's going to be the best in the world, and he is. And he is because of his daddy, not nobody else. Let's get that clear.
Roger Mayweather, Jr.'s uncle, has trained the champ for the last 7 years. Floyd Sr. works his own fighters. The only communication between them is through the media, as a father seeks credit for a soul he once captivated, but no longer recognizes.
Back then, that's the son I know. This person here now, I don't know. How can a man walk in a room and see your daddy and don't acknowledge him? And your daddy is the only way you ever got where you got. Your daddy, not nobody else.
I think boxing is harder than any other sport. Once you get in there and it's just you and the other guy, it's tough.
You take any athlete from any other sport, and they won't last a round. One round. Our athlete wouldn't last one round.
In the gladiator world of boxing, Mayweather embraces the inherent sacrifice. In 2002, a freak training accident just days before his lightweight title match against Jose Luis Castillo tested his competitiveness.
I was close to the bag when I hit the bag. My arm, I was too close. Threw a punch like this and my arm bent back like this, which, you know, tore the rotator cuff. My arm was killing me. It was hurting so bad. It was like one of the worst feelings I ever had.
I come to his house early Saturday morning, the day of the fight. And I come into his room, and all I could smell was a bunch of Bengay. And I'm saying to myself, we getting ready to fight a major fight. What the hell is going on?
I didn't want to let nobody know. And I said, yo, I'm gonna fight because this opportunity may never come again in life.
Mayweather made a comment in the corner about his left shoulder. We'll see if it is something wrong with it.
Confidence feeds trust. The more confident you are, the easier it is to trust your body and go out there and do what you've trained to do.
Mayweather's leaping in with the strong left hook.
He wanted to go out there and be able to still perform and show that he could beat this guy basically with one arm.
The winner by unanimous decision, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Losing, he wouldn't even go there. He doesn't even want to fathom that. He doesn't even want to put that thought or that word in his mind.
Mayweather's exaggerated competitiveness and drive for an eternal legacy has flowered into a self-governing style and dictated a 24-hour on-call approach to training.
Some days he'll come in the gym and he'll get a little frustrated at Roger because Roger won't allow him to go, you know, the rounds that he wants to go. I've been around the great ones. I mean, I've seen the Sugar Ray Leonard train, the Larry Holmes, the Mike Tysons. I've never seen a fighter train like him.
He a freak to train. He loves to train. If he's anywhere, be a restaurant, could be a nightclub, he'd get up and start running.
Other fighters they got a regimen. They got a schedule. And that's not me. I stay up late. I run with Timberlands on, jeans on, T-shirt, whatever I got on, I run. If I feel like running, I'm gonna go out and run.
You never know when Floyd is ready to work. I mean, you can leave the house and go to the party. After the party, he go in the trunk, slip on some shoes, and just start running. You be like, we just left the club. And you be like, go run. We just ate. Come on, man, we gotta work.
You know, he's calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Come on, Al, where you at? Come on, let's go. You know, you late, let's go. I'll say to him, Floyd, we're gonna run 5 miles. We get to the 5-mile point, and he'll take off running. There's nothing I can do, you know, and he'll run an extra 3 miles. When he's training in the middle of the night, what are most other fighters doing? They're sleeping, you know, so that gives him that psychological edge. When he's working, most fighters are sleeping.
How does your soul compare to Floyd's? He took the Soul of a Champion test, and you can too. Just log on to versus.com and take our 20-question test.
I'm just blessed. I don't know why God chose me, but he chose me. I always ask myself, well, why you chose me? I'm happy it was me that was chosen. I don't believe in religion. Because a person is a Christian, a person is a Catholic, a person is a Muslim, a person is a Jew. I feel under God, we all are one. So I find myself praying all day, all day. I pray every day and all day. Don't nobody know it. That's one of my secrets. And I told you.
Gives him faith that someone's looking over him. And when he feels like someone's looking over him and taking care of him, that gives him that added little confidence.
Filled with a spiritual sense of humility, Mayweather has faced, then thrived in the vice of public attention. Composure is a byproduct of his complete preparation.
If you get a ball to Michael Jordan, you know he's gonna take the last shot, right? He's gonna take it whether he make it or miss it. But 90% of the time, he's going to make it. You know why? Because that pressure has been put on him all the time. It get to a point where you understand pressure and you know how to deal with it. And I think that's what he does.
I never let what's going on the outside affect what's going on in the inside, because I know this is my job and this paved the way for me.
And the Gatti crowd responds.
When I went to Atlantic City and all the fans are in there rooting for Gotti, that means it's a great feeling. I feel good because I know once we get in that square circle, what I really know in my heart, the fans cannot get in there and fight for a fighter. It's just me and him, one-on-one.
Mayweather knocked him halfway across the ring with his own vicious left hook.
And I always remind him, this ain't nothing but the gym. That means he can focus just like it is the gym. When the gym, there's no ooh, no oh man, he did this, oh he did it. It ain't none of that. It's just you, me, and him, and the guys he's boxing.
As Mayweather enters the latter half of his career, he faces the age-old mental struggle, the need to be noticed and to establish a legacy, versus the dangers inherent in losing a fight, and his identity.
With all due respect to Floyd, we haven't seen Floyd in trouble. And until he's in trouble and works his way out of trouble and shows the heart of a champion, right, the jury has to be out.
If he suffered a loss by some chance, it very well could damage his psyche to some degree. But we'll have to wait and see that, because it hasn't happened yet, and I don't see it happening in the immediate future. You don't necessarily have to beat an opponent all the time with your fists as a boxer. You can beat him with your mind, or you can beat him with strategy, or you can beat him with maybe something you said going into the fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a very cerebral fighter, so psychology is part of his repertoire.
He's the epitome of what being the soul of a champion is all about, because his work ethic is unbelievable. his dedication, and his belief in himself.
But I believe that when all is said and done, that went Floyd, along with Sugar Ray Robinson, along as one of the greatest fighters ever to put on a pair of gloves. And I think that would represent the soul of a champion.
I'm 100% sure I'm the best fighter in the world. And I told you that, and I'm for sure about that. And somebody else tell you different, they must not be in the fight game.